Appointment schedule, patient info pane. Part of the scheduling module is having direct access to certain pieces of a patient's chart in conjunction with an appointment. Now I've already loaded the schedule here, and I'm just going to click here on Mark Ballas. And in the lower left is your patient info pane. And this is the part we're going to discuss in this particular video of the module. Now again, it is going to be shortcuts specific to the patient whose appointment that you have selected. So right now I have Mark Ballas selected as indicated by the red outline. So down here in the lower left, I have direct links to Mark Ballas's information. If I decide to choose Leslie Winkle, so that she is outlined in red on my schedule, then down in the left, I now have access to her information. The same with Miranda Presley, Olivia Pope, and so on. So I'm just going to leave Olivia Pope in focus here and discuss what each of these icons means. The first one is the patient alert. And notice here how the little icon has an orange triangle to indicate there are alerts present. So if I wanted to view the alerts while on the appointment module, I can certainly do that by clicking the icon. I also can go ahead and create a new alert. Same is true with the icon right next to it, which is patient notes. Notice also that the icon of the notepad is colored in orange to indicate I have notes present. So if I needed to look at the notes that were relevant to the appointment today, whatever the case is with my patient, based on your local workflows in the practice, many times at the appointment level, you won't get involved with the alerts or the notes, but at least you do have quick access if needed. The next would be the billing notes with the $sign. Now, since this icon is grayed out, that's an indication there are no billing notes present right now for Olivia. With the billing module enabled, however, for practice management, if this $sign lit up in a bright red, that would mean that there were billing notes present, so that the front desk and the billing office can correspond with each other at that patient level. The L icon is for laboratory orders, and the R would be for radiology. So those are links to create orders in conjunction with an appointment. Maybe your patient is coming in for a pre-surgery visit, and you need to do some pre-op labs or x-rays. This allows you to do those at the same time that you have booked the appointment. We also have the login details icon for the patient portal. When you are booking an appointment, you can verify that the patient has a login by the fact that the icon is colored red. If not, of course, you could go ahead and issue an ID and password for your patient. The umbrella is patient insurance. When the handle is red, that's an indication that there is insurance present for that patient. If it was grayed out, that would be an indication that there is no insurance record. And in that case, if I go ahead and quickly here choose Joe Bismatics, notice that my umbrella is now grayed out completely. There's no red handle. And across the top of the page, I have a message in orange that says the patient does not have an insurance record. Now the stethoscope icon, as throughout the system, represents current encounter for the patient that is in focus. When accessing the current encounter from a selected appointment, there are three possible scenarios. In the case of Joe Bismatics, since he has been arrived, the current encounter is going to open the encounter screen for that appointment. We see that by looking up here in the encounter band, and it is October 9th, which represented the appointment. In the case of Leslie Winkle, however, since she has not yet been arrived, when I click the current encounter icon, it takes me to her face sheet encounter. Now, a face sheet encounter, you'll recall from our encounter module videos, indicates there's no open encounter, and therefore it is the patient's history only. And then the third scenario we see with Miranda Presley. She also has not yet been arrived because her appointment is for tomorrow. When I click her stethoscope, however, I get a warning that there's no encounter for this appointment. Do you still want to go to the encounter page? And this is the indicator that tells us the appointment we've selected has not yet been arrived, but she does have an open encounter. So if I click OK, it's going to take me to that previous date's encounter. And we see that here by her encounter date being July 23rd, even though I selected her October 10th appointment. We also have insurance eligibility. If the eligibility program has been executed overnight, you will be able to verify what those details are. And then finally, the e-signature. The scales of justice, when black, indicates there's no signatures obtained electronically through the signature pad. But if the scales were lit up in red, then that would be an indication that there are e-signatures present. Now we see that her name is hyperlinked. That will open up patient register. So if you need to go in and verify or modify demographics, this is a shortcut to the patient register. Now the information that displays down here are the phone numbers if entered. If the information has not been obtained, then this will be a blank space. We also see in the lower left the appointment status. And then these icons, we have the access of marking an appointment arrived when the patient qualifies. The patient workflow allows you to arrive a patient. If you also would like to indicate a room number and add comments, but in addition to that, it allows you to create user-defined statuses, such as running late, in the lobby, completing paperwork, as well as the ability of canceling or marking your patient as a no-show. And then we also have the scissors, as discussed in our rescheduling video, when you need to move an appointment around on the schedule. And then one last icon, as in the case of an arrived appointment, notice here on JoeBizMaddix we have a $ icon. The $ icon is only available at the front desk once the appointment has been arrived and allows you to collect the patient's copayment and print a walkout receipt. So as means of a review with regards to the patient info pane in the lower left, these provide shortcuts to patient-level modules for the patient that you actually have in focus, meaning the selected appointment. It allows you to get into the patient register, the insurance, alerts, notes, ability to get e-signatures or assign the patient a login, even order pre-admission lab and radiology orders. You also have the ability at this level of making the patient arrived so that the encounter is open for documentation purposes, or to mark it as canceled or as a no-show. Once the patient has been marked arrived, you will get the copayment icon so that you can collect the patient's upfront money. You also will have the ability of cutting and pasting or moving the appointment in order to reschedule it. That concludes this video within the series. Please click the appropriate link below for your next step. If you'd like to take a quiz, you will receive your results in real time directly on the screen so that you can see how well you've done. If you answer incorrectly, the system will prompt you with the correct response. In addition, a confidential email will be sent to the education team to help us better serve you with our educational offerings. Second, advance to the next video within the series you're currently in. And finally, return to the video library main page. As always, feel free to contact us through the Resource Center or email with any additional questions or comments.